Today I'll be talking about issues with facial recognition. Facial recognition is a technology that uses algorithms to identify and verify an individual's identity by analyzing and comparing patterns of facial features from digital images or videos. It is important to study facial recognition technology as it brings many benefits to the community, such as public safety and convenience with certain tasks, such as unlocking a phone. Many people like the convenience from facial recognition and ignore the harm, so it is seen as a total net positive to many people. However, is it ethical for facial recognition to show bias and discrimination towards people? Facial recognition technology is an automated process that identifies individuals by analyzing and comparing patterns in their facial features to a database of known faces. One of the main issues with facial recognition technology is that it relies on algorithms that can be biased if they are not trained on diverse datasets. Despite its advanced capabilities, facial recognition technology that relies on computer algorithm remains imperfect. This can lead to misidentification or false positives, which can have serious consequences for those affected, such as wrongful arrest or denial of services. There are three main stakeholders in the issue of facial recognition showing bias and discrimination towards people. The first group being common citizens, as they are being potentially affected by facial recognition technology's biased outcomes, such as those who may be misidentified or subject to discrimination have a stake in the ethical implications of this technology. The second group of stakeholders would be the government, as they use facial recognition technology for law enforcement and other purposes and must consider the ethical implications of the technology's potential for bias and discrimination. They must balance public safety concerns with protecting individuals' rights and liberties. Finally, the last stakeholders would be the technology companies, as they are the ones that develop and sell facial recognition technology. The social contract theory can be used to analyze the issue of facial recognition being biased and showing discrimination by considering the agreements and expectations between individuals and companies. The social contract, according to using the internet, is a hypothetical contract that holds the individuals agree to certain rules and regulations in order to live in a peaceful and just society, and that these rules are based on mutual consent and benefit. In the context of facial recognition technology, social contract theory will argue that the use of biased and discriminatory algorithms violates the principles of fairness and justice that underpin the social contract between individuals and society. The agreement is that individuals have a right to expect that they will be treated fairly and equal by the institutions and technologies that govern their lives. Also, the contract would suggest that governments, technology companies, and other stakeholders have a responsibility to ensure that facial recognition technology is designed and used in a fair way. When facial recognition technology is used in a way that shows bias and discrimination, it violates the fundamental principle and undermines the social contract. Therefore, under social contract theory, it is unethical for facial recognition to show bias and discrimination towards people. Under ACT, we get a similar answer compared to social contract theory that supports the idea that it is unethical for facial recognition to be biased. ACT focuses on which action produces the most happiness and the least amount of harm to all involved. In the context of facial recognition technology, ACT will focus on the consequences of being biased and discriminated towards individuals. Such actions will result in harm to individuals and society as a whole. When facial recognition is used to discriminate against certain individuals, it leads to negative outcomes such as wrongful arrest, wrongful accusations, and social inequalities. This causes harm to individuals and undermines social cohesion. Moreover, the negative consequences of biased and discriminatory facial recognition algorithms can lead to a loss of trust and confidence in the technology itself. This can result in reduced use of facial recognition technology, which can have negative consequences for public safety and security. With facial recognition being biased, it would bring no good to anyone in the situation, as individuals be harmed, the government and technologies companies will both lose trust from society, and since most people are not benefiting, the harm caused is very significant in comparison. Therefore, it is unethical for under act for facial recognition to show bias and discrimination towards people. In conclusion, the use of facial recognition technology that shows bias and discrimination towards people is an ethical issue that must be addressed. Through the lenses of social contract theory and ACT, it is clear that the use of biased and discriminatory algorithms in facial recognition technology violates the principles of fairness, justice, and the common good. Therefore, it is unethical for facial recognition to show bias and discrimination towards people.